Hello friends! Welcome to our channel where we bring you motivational stories and much more. Before we begin, please subscribe so you won't miss any of our stories. Also, we request you to like, comment, and share our stories with your loved ones. Today's story is about a boy who was known as the laziest in his village. But what happened to him will surprise you. This story will inspire you to stand up, take action, and prove to yourself that you are much more than your laziness. Let's begin. Once in a small, quiet village, there lived a boy named Zion. He wasn't foolish or weak. In fact, he was quite smart. But he had one big problem. He didn't like to move unless he had to. Zion would sleep late, skip chores, and avoid anything that required effort. People in the village often joked, if laziness was a sport, Zion would have a gold medal. He didn't care what others thought. I'll do it later, he always said, but later never came. Zion lived with his mother, who worked hard every day selling fruits in the market. She never complained, but deep down, she wished her son would become responsible. He was getting older, and she couldn't carry all the weight forever. One evening, Zion found his mother coughing and struggling to stand. She had fallen sick, and the doctor said she needed rest and good food. Zion didn't know what to do. For the first time, he looked around their small home and saw the truth: no food, no clean clothes, and no one else to help. He sat alone and said quietly, "This is all because of me. I was busy doing nothing while my mother gave everything." The next morning, Zion woke up before sunrise. He cleaned the house, cooked some porridge, and helped his mother sit up. Then he carried her basket of fruits to the market himself. People were shocked. Zion? Working? What happened? But Zion didn't answer. He had no time for talk. From that day, he went to the market daily, stood in the sun, and sold fruits with a smile. It wasn't easy. His hands hurt, his legs were tired. But each day he told himself, I must keep going. I can't go back to the old me. One day, a big announcement was made in the village. A rich businessman was starting a new training center and needed only one assistant. The job would come with a house, a good salary, and a better life. Everyone rushed to apply. Strong men, fast workers, even village leaders. Zion was unsure. He'd never worked outside the market. But deep down, he wanted to try. He thought, this could change my mother's life and mine. So he applied. The selection process was not simple. The first task was to carry water buckets up a small hill, again and again, for 1 hour. Many gave up halfway. Some sat down, tired. Zion kept going. He wasn't the fastest, but he didn't stop. The next task was to arrange hundreds of items in order, quickly and correctly. Most rushed and made mistakes. But Zion took a deep breath and focused. He finished last, but he got everything right. The final task was to write a short note about why they wanted the job. Some wrote fancy words, some bragged about their experience. Zion simply wrote, I want to give my mother a better life. I've wasted many years. I don't want to waste another minute. The next day, the businessman called all the participants. Everyone stood tall, expecting their name to be called. But to their surprise, he looked at Zion and said, You are the one I want. Not because you are the strongest or the fastest, but because I saw hunger in your eyes. Not hunger for money, hunger to change. The crowd was silent. Zion couldn't believe it. He had proven himself, not just to the businessmen, not to the villagers, but to the person that mattered the most, himself. From that day on, Zion worked harder than ever. He learned new skills, helped his mother, and became an example for others. No one called him lazy again, not because he shouted or showed off, but because he changed. So what can we learn from Zion's story? Laziness isn't something you're born with. It's a habit. And like all habits, it can be broken. But you need a reason, goal, a fire inside you that says, I want more. I can be better. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to start, step by step, day by day. And one day, like Zion, you'll look back and say, I did it, proved myself. Thank you for listening to this story. If you found it inspiring, share it with someone who needs to hear it today. Remember, your future begins the moment you stop saying later and start saying now. See you in the next story.